Good morning and a guten Erev Shabbos. I can't believe it's Shabbos again, as we just had Shavuot, and it was a short week after that, but there's no complaints. We love having Shabbos and celebrating Shabbos together, and we have another Bar Mitzvah and Shul this Shabbos, which will be beautiful. So, the news in the last 24 hours has all been about Elon Musk and President Trump and their public feud. You know, the joke out there was that if you had any negative news that you had to share about yourself and you didn't want people to really see it, it was the perfect time to just drop it on X or wherever you want, and no one would even be paying attention because they were all busy with this feud. But because of that, because of their fighting, Elon Musk lost $152 billion in one day. The most a person ever lost in a day, which is obviously because how many people even own nearly that type of money? And yes, he got some back today, but that's not the point. Everything has a lesson in our spirituality. What lesson could we learn from them? I'm not going to get into the fight between the two of them, which really doesn't interest me, but I will share this. You know, this week is my Bar Mitzvah Parsha. It's a beautiful portion, a lot of beautiful details in there. But the most beautiful thing is one of the most ancient things we do as a Jewish people, and that's the Birchas Kohanim, the priestly blessing. Just now in Shul and Shavuot, we had the Kohanim bless us on both days, on Tuesday and on Monday, and there was so many children and parents and people covered in taluses taking in those blessings. We, of course, do this in the Holy Temple. It was done every day, and at the Kotel it's done every day. And then there's the famous time when all the Jews come together on the first intermediate day of Passover and Sukkot, where tens of thousands of people come to the Kotel to be blessed by the Kohanim. And many parents bless their children every Friday night before the Kiddush as they put their hands on their children, and of course right before Yom Kippur. But the first blessing says like this: Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. May God bless you, or may He protect you. And the rabbi asks a question. First of all, what's the blessing? And why does he need protection of that blessing? And the rabbis answered that the blessing that we're talking about here, is the blessing of wealth, financial success. And the Yishmerecha, we ask God that He protect this wealth. But why does He need to protect us? And the answer the rabbis give is that we need God to protect us from the wealth. Because sometimes we get so consumed by our wealth, by our success, by our affluence, that it takes away from everything else we are in life. It leads to feuds like we're witnessing of two little children fighting, or it leads to families breaking up. In fact, the rabbis tell us that the word sulam, which is a ladder, is the same numerical value as the word mammon, which is money. What's the connection? Because just like a ladder, it could take you up to the highest rungs, you could climb all the way up, but it could also take you all the way down. So too is money. Money could lift you up to the greatest place where you could give charity, and you could be kind, and you could be generous, and you could help others, and you could share your wealth, and you could do good things with it, and you could bring family together, or it could bring you down to the lowest place. As the guy once said, that all my life I climbed up the ladder of success and wealth, and then I realized I put my ladder on the wrong wall. Which wall are we choosing to put our ladder on? Which wall is the blessing of wealth that we want? Is the wealth we want a means to an end, or is it an end itself? Is the wealth there so we could support our children and give them values, so we could share it with poor people, so we could support Israel, so we could support the Jewish people? Or is the wealth a blessing that is in its own? All we want to do is accumulate and not share it. And that's what we ask God. Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. May God bless you with wealth, but may He also protect you from being consumed by it and it taking over who you are and leading to the rifts that we see people get because of wealth. You know, we're beginning our building campaign now. God willing, in August we will start building. And I've met with so many remarkable human beings and people who God has blessed them with so much wealth, and they've been wanting and happy to share their wealth so others could benefit from it, so the community at large could benefit from it. We see how charitable the Jewish people are in general, and we understand how powerful this blessing, Yivarechecha Hashem, may God bless you, but v'yishmerecha, may He protect you from it. And that's why the last part of the blessing is Yisa Hashem panav elecha, may God lift His face to you. V'yasem lecha shalom, may He give you peace. If your money leads you to rifts and not to peace, then you've missed the point. because ultimately, peace is the most valuable and greatest asset we have. Peace in family, harmony, peace between nations, peace between people, and that's the blessing we ask God. You see, America's consumed with debt. America's consumed with how we earn more money and have more money and be wealthier nation. And these things are all important. We shouldn't have debt and we should be a wealthy nation because why? That's the question. Because it allows us to do good things, because it allows us to share, because it allows us to be happy and healthy human beings who celebrate the joy of life, not just the power of having money. And I think that this needs to be said again and again, especially in the time we're living in. Money could do great things, but it has to be used in the right way. You know, last week, Israel announced that the Rafael laser that they've been working on for so many years has been active for a year already. And it showed remarkable video and footage of this laser that was able to target Hezbollah drones. And when they targeted Hezbollah drones, they would just shoot the laser at the drone, and you would see as slowly the wing would disintegrate, and then it would cause the own ammunition and the own bombs that were in the drone would blow up and destroy that drone. And one of the greatest reasons why this is so important, and it's revolutionary, and it's the future of warfare, of course, because it allows Israel to protect its airspace. But more importantly, till now, Israel is using Iron Dome, and those batteries that protect us and shoot down a missile could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, the missile that Hezbollah or Hamas would shoot cost a few $1,000s to produce, but they made Israel spend sometimes $500,000 to shoot down each missile. And there's no way to financially make that feasible, because we need the money to create, to do good things, to support the people that are in need of it, to protect our country. The laser beam from the Rafael new invention cost $1 to $5 each time it shoots down a drone. Imagine, $1 to $5 instead of $100,000 to $200,000 to $300,000. It's remarkable, but it's only remarkable if the money we save we use for something meaningful, for something purposeful, to unite, to protect, to help, to celebrate, to care for. And that's the message of the priestly blessing that was so ingrained in the Jewish spirit. May God bless us with wealth. May Israel succeed to grow. May America have wealth. Wealth is a good thing, but may He protect us from it, not to lead to feuds like we've witnessed in the last 24 hours that led to the loss of $152 billion from the richest man on earth, but it should lead to supporting, to caring, to loving, to sharing, and to always remembering that the money is a means to an end, not an end in itself. Shabbat Shalom, and if you're in town, we hope to see you.